Hello, and good day to all of you Pauper oddities out there. Yeah, you never quite fit in, did you? You've always been a little bit odd, and that's why you play Pauper. And that's why you play weird graveyard decks in Pauper. You know what'd be even stranger is if you subscribed to my weird content. But in any case, I've got something really bizarre for all of you today. We're going to be playing a 5-color Dredge deck. That's right, 5 colors. A user named Marzaboy, who does a lot of big brain brewing for Pauper Dredge. He had this cool idea. He brewed up this deck that it's kind of like the standard Dredge, but we've got Momentary Blink in the main deck as a way to blink our Lotleth Giants, possibly speed up the combo. You can also blink any of your creatures that mill, and gives you some instant speed interaction as well. And so you might be thinking, but Jeremy, how do you cast a white and a blue mana in this already 3-color deck originally? Well, we're going to be using Holdout Settlement. You know, we've got a lot of wimpy little creatures that can be used to tap for any color mana. And we can find these holdout settlements pretty easily with our wayfinders and doggies over here. So we're going to give it a try. 5-color Dredge, very exciting. Sideboard is sort of a mishmash of Dredge sideboard goodies. Ancient Grudge for the artifact Grave Hate. Snuff Out for any targeted removal that we need. Not to the Bone for aggro decks. We got some Enchantment Hate for Bogles and such. And then we're going to try out some Dispel as well in case we run into High Tide or other decks where we really need to be countering some instant spells. But with that, yeah, we're gonna give it a go, and wish me luck. Let's take this thing out for a spin, eh? Okay, round 1. Let's see what we're up against here. We will be on the play. Nice hand. Nice hand. We got some Millers. We got Exhume, Dread Return. So let's kick it off. By the way, happy Easter to all those who celebrate Easter out there. I'm recording this on Easter, so I hope you're eating a lot of eggs while you watch this video or whatever. A lot of hard-boiled eggs left over from Easter, perhaps. Sorry, that's silly of me. Eggs are way too expensive right now. Opponent has got a fast start. They've got Goblin Tomb Raider with their artifact land. That's gonna hurt. Have no fear. Einok Wayfarer is here, perhaps. Or we could just scrapwork Stinkweed. I think we want to find more lands, though. Definitely. But we got this in our back pocket for when we really start cooking. We do find a forest. We mill over an Exhume and a Dread Return, so not what we're looking for, but we got a Dread Return in the grave. That's pretty cool. Would be convenient to have another black source for this Dread Return, but of course Holdout Settlement is a black source. Okay, opponent, Thermal Alchemist coming down. We will not block. Kind of need our creatures to make this settlement worth. If we can find a big creature, we'd love to Exhume or Dread Return. With all the Grave Hate floating around in the format, I like that this Blink plan incentivizes us to get our Giants out earlier, maybe less likely to be blown out by Grave Hate. We've got some nice untapped lands here. I guess we just keep milling, huh? I may even go for the Scrapwork Mutt here. Or we could play Stinkweed Imp as a blocker. It's been a while since I played something close to this version of Dredge. It's okay. No, we can just block with the Scrapwork Mutt and still be filling our graveyard. I think I don't want to get the Stinkweed Imp trapped on the field. Okay, we milled over 2 Stinkweed Imps, we milled over a Momentary Blink, and we've got a Troll if we want to Exhume or Dread Return, so that's worth keeping in mind. If we kill a creature, we might turn off our Exhume. Interesting. Okay, we got some stuff going on here. Opponent has a fast start, though, so we gotta act fast. Like, by the time the Troll comes down, and we might get like 1 attack in with the Troll, they got the double Thermo Alchemist and possibly a handful of Dredgers here. Do we block? Do we block if we're gonna Exhume, but we save 2 damage? And Scrapwork Mutt, we wouldn't be too unhappy to have that in the graveyard. We're gonna wait. Keep our creatures count high for a Dread Return, potentially. You know, we might go Prowler, Exhume, Flashback Dread Return. If we find a Lotleth Giant, we did. Okay. Okay, we got some juicy stuff going on here. They may have a burn spell. So we want to get the Lotleth Giant out. And blink it at some point. Let's get a Prowler down. Fill our graveyard a little more. Are they going to zap one of our creatures in response? They're scared of Dread Return. Fair enough. I would be too, if I were they. Okay, Galvanic Blast. Sure. But that's not going at our face, so that is slowing them down. We mill Swamp and Forest. Is it ever worth... We want more lands. Is it ever... I'm just wondering if it's ever worth making this guy a 2/2. We'll get a Swamp, just so we have an easier double black. And then we're probably going to just Exhume Lotleth Giant. And then next turn we can focus on filling our graveyard more and flashing back Momentary Blink. And if we could find another Lotleth Giant and a Dread Return somewhere in there, that would be great. Yep, let's bring back Lotleth Giant. I have not played this deck much or tested this deck much, so bound to make some silly mistakes, but we'll try my best. Okay, now we can just F6. Opponent, it's got a lot of damage on the board. Experimental Synthesizer, they find a land. They play that land. They play an Epicure. Okay, I don't mind creatures as much. Yeah, discarding cards. So it seems like they have a kind of a land-heavy hand. They don't have a lot of burn spells to make these Thermal Alchemists go off, but looks like they're going to cast 1 burn spell here. Galvanic Blast to our face. Yup, I think we have to win this turn. Opponent will not attack. So we're essentially at 3 life here. We will definitely be bringing in the gnaws to the bones. So here's the question. So Momentary Blink costs 4 to flashback, so that's not happening. So is this a Scrapwork Mutt, Stinkweed Imp situation? We can sacrifice all 3 of these to a Dread Return targeting one of our graveyard filling spells, and then we can bring a Scrapwork Mutt back. And then cast a Stinkweed Imp, and then do the Lotleth Giant again, and hopefully we filled our graveyard enough. It's kind of doubtful. How many creatures would we need to find? This is kind of mind-bending. I think we might just be a turn too slow, but we will try to attack with our Lotleth Giant. Yep, they block. Yeah, Momentary Blink is 4 mana, 8 damage. We don't really care about that. We will... Someone let me know if there's a better way to do this, but... We'll bring back Satyr Wayfinder. So now we have Dread Return and Lotleth Giant back in the graveyard. We're filling our graveyard just a little bit more. 4 creatures. It's a good start. And then we will Scrapwork Mutt, get a red tap Unearth. We will discard Stinkweed Imp, dredge it. Okay. 15 creature cards. Did we get there? Just barely? By like 1 damage? Oh, yeah! Okay, that was kind of epic. Epic. And now we get our Gnaw to the Bone. So I feel like I'm in a good position now that we won that first game. Ancient Grudge is also good, potentially. They probably have Relic of Progenitus. Ancient Grudge is a little slow on that, but you can kind of force their hand. It's also good against their land, so maybe I don't bring in all of the Ancient Grudges. Of course, they have Clockwork Percussionist and things like that, so Exhume is a little less good. But I also don't want to go down too much Exhume. We'll go down a Blink. We want to, once again, mostly be siding out instants and sorceries, so we keep our creature count around 30. We still got to cut 2 cards. We could probably go down to 29 creatures in a pinch. Go down a lot with Giant. This is where I get confused, is sideboarding with these decks that I haven't practiced this version very much. We could go down Prowler and Dread Return. Let's try that. We got 29 creatures. Exhume is good if we can get the Troll off, but we're less likely to get the Troll off, or we're less likely to get an Exhume off because we don't have the Generous Ents in this version. That's the big loss here. Generous and very good against burn. But, yeah, I could be doing this totally wrong. Let's try it like this. I don't know. Let's try it. A well-timed knot to the bone could be backbreaking for our opponent. Okay, it's going to be a little hard to get our Malevolent Rumble off, but we do have Troll into... I guess we have Troll to find our green-black land into Exhume, so if they don't have, yeah, turn 1 or 2 Relic of Progenitus, we're off to a strong start. They have the Percussionist, so we want to get the Exhume off before they, before we have to block that or something. We might be looking to cast the Stinkweed Imp. Scrapwork Mutt is nice. Very nice. Yep. Swamp and pass. We will plan to Swamp Cycle this. See what they have. Okay. Flame Breathers. They're setting up their pingers. Ping, ping, ping. We will Swamp Cycle. We will grab Haunted Mire. Very nice that Holdout Settlement comes into play untapped. So setting up our green land's a little slower, but we're doing it to get a Troll out. Troll against these red decks, sometimes they decide to just double bolt it because they can't really deal with it. But, yep, there's the Relic. Okay, so we dodged that for now, but it's still a problem. And they're just gonna take their exile effect here. They find Chain Lightning, which they can cast next turn. Okay, that's a little rough. They've got maybe 3 spells. We'll see. This is nice. This is very nice. We can... I think we can like Scrapwork Mutt. We can like Rumble and Scrapwork Mutt. Or Rumble and Circle of the Land Druid. Let's attack first. If we find an Ancient Grudge, we can just fire it off at the Relic. Oops, let's cast Rumble first. We find another Holdout Settlement or Lotleth Giant. It's so sad that we're losing a Lotleth Giant and Dread Return potentially. Yeah, there's no way to do that this turn. We might just refrain from filling our graveyard too much and force their hand on that. Like maybe I don't Scrapwork Mutt, maybe I Circle of the Land Druid right now. Green. And sacrifice for Land Druid. We'll save this. Maybe they'll be digging for spells. We'll still mill. We find a Knot to the Bone. So that'll almost certainly scare them into using their Relic. Let's always get rid of sorceries and instants first, of course. Here comes Chain Lightning, probably. Oh, the Synthesizer. Remember, they have a Chain Lightning they can cast. They find Ren's Resolve. Okay. So they can chain together a lot of spells. They're probably trying to find... Let's see if they find a land for their Chain Lightning. I find Synthesizer and Chain Lightning. Okay. So they're losing their first Chain Lightning from the Clockwork Percussionist. That's pretty nice. And we've got a fast clock here. So do they, potentially. Scrapwork Mutt. We might just like Gnaw to the Bone. Oh, they can't. Oh, they didn't find a land. They cannot Relic of Progenitus. So we're in pretty good shape here. We can like Scrapwork, or Scrapwork Satyr Wayfinder, and then Dread Return Lotleth Giant. Yep. Well, let's attack. They can't block. I don't think we need to, Gnaw to the Bone right now. Satyr Wayfinder. There's all our Lotleth Giants, so we only get one shot at this. Or most of our Lotleth Giants. We will get red. Oops, I meant to cast the one from my hand, but that's okay. Force a Habit. 8 creature cards. Yeah, I think we got there. Wow. Sure, we'll get, yeah, okay, we win the match. Ooh, okay, that was a pretty smooth. That was very smooth against mono red. Cool. Cool. Just classic Dredge action. No blinky shenanigans yet, but the mana base works. So I'll see you around 2. Okay, let's see what we've got here. We're on the play against Molax. Holy Aura. Good old classic dredgy hand here. We'll keep it. We can work up to a Dread Return, I guess. We probably... There could be an argument for Forest first if we are hoping to draw a Exhume. That would be cool, but might as well just not tell our opponent what we're up to for an extra turn. Okay, this looks like a black sacrifice deck. What does that mean for us? What does that mean? I suppose we want to find our land drops first. We have one here. We want a 4th one for Dread Return. We find our settlement. Alrighty then, and we get a Scrapwork Mutt into the graveyard. All is going according to plan. Opponent, when this one dies, they scry and create a treasure token. Village Rites, okay. I guess Shambling Ghast is pretty annoying for us because they can zap our creatures and maybe disrupt our holdout settlement. So that's kind of a bummer. Looks like they're trying to find lands and they did not, but they do have that treasure token to help them next turn. It looks like they're going to go to cleanup and have to discard to hand size, so we get a nice head start here. We find the Exhume. Well, maybe that's what we're doing. I don't see why not. Yep, let's attack. I'm even going to hold the holdout settlement, so opponent is maybe not trying to eliminate our creatures just yet. They will get back their greedy freebooter, but they're still gonna need to do something fancy to deal with our troll. Of course, they have a lot of removal. They might have Cast Down or Defile. Ooh, it's like a Gardens deck. Okay, Golgari Sacrifice. Okay, so probably not Defile, but they probably have removal in there. Culling the Weak. Okay. Is this going to be a removal spell? Is this a combo deck? Oh, it's Turbo Initiative. Okay. Well, opponent stumbled on lands, but they're going all out on Initiative, Thorn of the Black Rose, and Monarch. But we get to take all that stuff back right now. So, interesting. So we're going to get to draw a card. There's no blocking this. This has trample. So we're just going to be trading back and forth, probably. Initiative and Monarch. Opponent is, of course, going to be one step ahead of us in the initiative gang, but we've got a fast clock here. So do they. I guess maybe we want to cast a Stinkweed Imp. We'd really like to find a land, but maybe casting Stinkweed Imp is good against this board. I guess we get in. We get our initiative and our monarchy. We will venture into the Undercity. We will get green. Nice. Found our land drop for next turn. Yeah, I think we're just going to Stinkweed Imp. Try and take care of that Avenging Hunter or make them have an answer. They're really choked on lands here. Momentary Blink. Ooh, okay. Momentary Blink can be used on a Scrapwork or Blanchwood, or we can try to get this Lotleth Giant going. Yep, they want their stuff back, but they're going to have to lose an Avenging Hunter. Everyone gets to draw cards. Everyone gets... What are they going to do? They can either buff a creature or scry. None of those really do that much for them at the moment. They may want to... They may want to just buff their Thorn of the Black Rose, because that's a more interesting path. Get a bigger attacker. Sure, sure. Shambling Ghast might hurt us. They can sack it. Oh, they have a second Shambling Ghast. Okay. Okay, so they can block our troll if they like, and then zap our creatures, but they would lose a lot if they did that. We only got 4 creature cards in the graveyard. We want to discard both the Lotleth Giant and the Dread Return. We could Momentary Blink this Blanchwood Prowler in response to these triggers. That could be interesting. And then... yeah. We could attack with both, so we are guaranteed to take back the monarchy and the initiative. I think I like that. We could have also brought back a Scrapwork Mutt, but we might want to use the colored mana for the holdout settlement mana for the blink. Let's try to do that. Of course, if we only attack with Troll, they can triple block and then they keep this advantage. I don't really want to let that happen. They're going to take the 6. Is this worth blinking now? I think so. Oh, we can't, because we tapped our creature. That's okay. Opponent goes down to 7. We will Yeah, we want to get towards that trap, so we will forge. Let me make sure I don't do this wrong. Forge, put 2+1/+1 counters on our troll. So now they've got to deal with a troll. They got to do a lot of stuff. I could just scrap work. Is that lethal? Scrapwork, discard Lotless, scrapwork, discard Dread Return. We would have 5 creature cards, 6, 7, only 6 creature cards, 6, 7 if we sacrifice the troll. Let's try this. Discard. Oh, even better. Discard, and then Dread Return Lotless Giant. Unless they have life gain. We got it. Nice. Okay. Opponent. Is this like a snuff out game? Turbo Initiative, we want to be eliminating those pesky Avenging Hunters and Thorn of the Black Rose. No, that's League of Legends. They probably have Nile Spellbomb too. I'm not sure. Or do they just do like Bajuka Bog? No idea. No idea. Exhum's a little trickier in this matchup, as we saw. Blink is kind of decent, I think. I mean, do we bother with 1 Ancient Grudge? Let's go 0 Ancient Grudge, and then we'll see. If we see like Nile Spellbomb start popping out, then maybe game 3. If it comes to that. Hopefully there will be no game 3. This is the kind of hand that we don't want that. Won't be able to get to our stuff. This is awkward. But I think we got to keep it on 6 and hope we find something. We'll put back 1 Dread Return. Hopefully we can find a shuffle for that, but we've got to snuff out. Yeah, Shambling Ghast. Momentary Blink. Awkward. We really need to find our... we would love to find a Satyr Wayfinder or other such milling creature. Scrapwork Mutt I would take. Opponent ramping a little bit. They get their gardens. They make a little plant friend. There's Circle of the Land Druid. So we'll take it. Doesn't give us a land immediately, but you know what? It's something. We would mill 4 cards. There goes Exhume and Dread Return. And that's our turn. Circle of the Land Druid is when the creature dies, so blinking it out is not going to give us the land. Opponent is so corrupt, but they're convicted to their corruption. Kind of setting up here, trying to find their initiatives. We would have really liked to mill over a creature there, huh? Is this a momentary blink situation where we fill our graveyard some more? Or is this a Stinkweed Imp situation? Let's attack. Momentary blink. Remember, the creature you blink comes back untapped. So if you only have 1 creature, but you need to activate multiple holdout settlements, that could be something to keep in mind. They're going to block. They're going to sack it. Okay. They're digging, digging, digging. I think I like playing Stinkweed Imp because if they do play Monarchy or Initiative, then we'll have a flyer to steal it back potentially. Is this Avenging Hunter or Thorn of the Black Rose? Cursed Marauder. I guess we sacrifice Stinkweed Imp and dredge it back. We could sacrifice Circle the Land Druid and get a land, which is good. Land for turn, which is good. I'm just worried about now our blink doesn't do anything. Maybe it looks like they got another effect here, so let's wait and see. Nice, they got the old-fashioned border on the Accursed Marauder. I appreciate that. Swag acknowledged. Molax. Not dead after all. Okay, so they're just gonna... We have no choice. We're doing both. Sure. Sacrifice this. Bring back our... We just want a forest. I think we'll just get a forest. Since we're going to lose our creatures, hold out settlement a little weaker. And then opponent is getting their Thorn of the Black Rose down, potentially. Oh, there's their Avenging Hunter. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. We can probably snuff that out. Maybe we do it while they're while they can't sacrifice anything in response. We got two of them. Let's just do that now. Hurts our life total, especially that they're going to be... Oh, if we found Scrapwork Mutt, that would have been awesome. We did not. We cannot Dread Return, unfortunately. Not that we have amazing targets here, but yeah, I guess it's just a Stinkweed cast and pass. So not in a great position. I don't like that they're taking the initiative here. Let's see if we can get this Stinkweed Imp to stick around. If we can use, you know, the Snuff Out to blow out... Yeah, they're gonna keep our board clear here. We really wanted that to stick around, potentially for the Dread Return. Oh, there's Nile Spellbomb. Boo. Nile Spellbomb. They're gonna crack it. Okay, they're down to one card. So looks like they're building up to yep, they're gonna just try and run out the clock until they have the initiative. If we had one more land there, Momentary Blink would have been nice, but this is not bad. Start filling our graveyard again. Okay, Snuff Out and Hold Out Settlement and Lotleth Giant. Okay, so I think what we want to do is hold this up. If they try to remove this or something, we'll blink in response and hopefully have a creature to take back the initiative next turn, especially since we can snuff out something that they play. There's the Avenging Hunter. Ugh. So they're gonna get a token. Boo. Okay, end step. We're gonna Momentary Blink this guy, white. Oh, and they have Tragic Slip in response. Ay, ay, ay. Well, that's not good. Now I guess we gotta snuff out Avenging Hunter. pretty bad. We get our holdout settlement back. Yeah, we're out of gas here. We can't... Okay, holdout settlement biting us in the ass a little bit. We cannot dread return our Lotleth Giant, which would be nice. So, but we'll keep playing it out. We'll see. Opponent had a very strong hand for what we had going on. We were kind of creature light, so they were able to kind of wipe us out with a couple removal spells, and then even the creatures we had were kind of our weaker creatures. Yeah, they're fully initiating here. Full initiative. We will get to Wayfinder. Sure. It's asking me which order for our graveyard. I don't understand that. So what can we do here? This is hexproof and trample. There's no way. Menace. So we can maybe survive one more turn, but we're gonna have to like do a big block. I don't even think we can. They are out of cards. Well, I think we're dead here, but let's try to... Yeah, we're definitely dead. Can't fill our graveyard fast enough. If we had more creatures in the graveyard, maybe there's a way if we survive this turn to win, but... Oh, 2+1/+1 counters. Yeah, it's over. Right? We can only block... Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Nile Spellbomb was good there. But even our Ancient Grudge wouldn't have stopped that. Ancient Grudge is good against like the early Spellbomb. Maybe Exhume. Snuff Out seemed potentially good. I wonder if Dispel is good against their sacrifice stuff. Sacrifice something as an additional cost and then they don't draw the cards. But maybe that's doing too much. Culling the Weak. Is Culling the Weak... It's a sorcery, right? Oh, it's an instant? Okay. Let's try a Dispel. Maybe we're not on the Exhume plan. I don't know. This is weird. This is a weird one. Okay. This hand we keep. We need to find our black-green land. It's a little wonky of a keep, I guess. But we've got so many key pieces that I have a hard time not keeping it. But maybe I'm supposed to dig for things. We have the Holdout Settlement if we can find a Dispel. Dispel on Culling the Weak. They're going down to 5 cards. So they're really digging for Grave Hate maybe, or maybe they're just having a tough time. They're having a hard time choosing what to put back, it seems. So maybe we can expect, you know, we've got kind of a wonky start, but maybe they do too. We will kick things off with Swamp. And we'll get ready to Swamp Cycle this for the green-black land. Shambling Ghast, not a bad start for our opponent. Green-black. Yeah, awkward. We just have to do this and pass. We might be able to cast both of these next turn, or Malevolent Rumble +1. Okay, there they go. Turbo Monarch. Yep, so they mulled to 5, but they're quickly going to regain that card advantage. That's a bummer. Is there any sense in Stinkweed Imp to steal the monarchy back? It's so slow though. I think the Rumble plan was just better. So we can Rumble. We can grab Blanchwood Prowler. Okay, let's just try to get our dredges on fast while our opponent, they're already starting a couple cards behind. We will tap for green, tap, and then sacrifice. We will play the Wayfarer, which of course they can kill with the Shambling Gas. It's very, very much a possibility. Oh no, they can't. We got the +1/+1 counter. If we block it, it's a problem. Okay, but our graveyard's looking good. If we dodge, I don't even want to say the card, or yep, there it is. All I have to do is think about it and it jinxes it. Okay, so they're gonna leave up a black for their spell bomb, or maybe they'll just activate it right away. Not good. This is pretty good for them. I can't really see a world where we're able to get in the monarchy back. Do I Stinkweed Imp? Probably not, unless we want 2. I don't want to like mill over anything important though. Snuff Out is decent. So we could either Stinkweed Imp or we can Blanchwood Inoc. But I don't want to be, that's what we can use to refill our graveyard later. We could Dread Return just to force the spell bomb, but I'd rather save it. Okay, let's Stinkweed. And we've got Snuff Out to do something tricky to take back the initiative. They might be able to kill our Stinkweed Imp by messing with both of their Ghasts. I mean, I could, I guess I cannot. Oh, Snuff Out is not good here. Snuff Out, non-black. I gotta remember that. Okay, so Snuff Out, useless. Snuff Out is for Avenging Hunter only. I probably shouldn't be bringing in the Snuff Outs like that then. I'm gonna let this go through. I feel like if I block any one of them, we're gonna lose critical creatures. I think maybe they have like one sacrifice effect, and they want one to be blocked so they can kill my Stinkweed Imp. But I really want this. I'm gonna start defending this monarchy. Maybe now I take the other Stinkweed Imp back as a blocker. Well, let's see what removal they've got for this guy. Yep. Okay. Oh, I see. They just make it so he does no damage. Okay. Bummer. Do we just try to force the... force the spell bomb right now so we can get on with our lives? I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to just cast more Stinkweed Imps. But you can see that Stinkweed Imp, not the most effective here. Okay, they're going to kill our Stinkweed Imp. We still got one in hand. We'll exile our graveyard. Uh-huh. We've got Dread Return. Do they have anything to follow it up, or were they just really desperate to get rid of that Stinkweed Imp by using the Culling the Weak? They don't. Okay. Well, we've got another Stinkweed Imp in hand. But I don't like our position here. It seems like we're getting outgrinded pretty handily here, with the Monarchy being out of our control for way too long. Yeah, Snuff Out was bad to bring in. I'm not used to playing with it. That non-black claws, not so good for us. Wayfinder, start filling it up again. Find a forest. We find another Dread Return. We would have liked to mill over a creature to Dread Return, but what are you gonna do, huh? And then I guess we run out another Stinkweed. They will scry, make a treasure token. With their village rights. They're scrying one to the top, so that's not what we want to see. Something to help them keep the Monarchy, I assume. Well, Snuff Out. If they play Avenging Hunter, we've got Snuff Out. Cursed Marauder. Okay. We'll get rid of the Wayfinder. Mesmeric Fiend. Okay, so they can, well, whatever. Whatever card they want to get rid of, I'm not that scared of it. Are they going to do the thing where they sacrifice it in response to the trigger so that they don't have to give it up? Okay, Bone Picker. Ugh, please. Bone Picker. Of course. They've got all the answers to us, huh? Do we care about that? Ay. Okay. What a painful match. And 2 Bone Pickers? Come on. Okay. Well, this is looking pretty bad for us. I think we gotta just... find some incredible Lotleth Giant value or something. There goes the Dispels, looking pretty bad here. Yeah, I think I just screwed up all the sideboarding on this this game. But we're milling over very few creatures. Not really, yeah. All instants and sorceries, 1 creature. So you can see that creature count is quite important. Guess we do this. Shorten their clock by making them lose a Bone Picker. And we get Stinkweed in the graveyard. And I don't know if we just have to keep like cooking here with Dread Return Satyr Wayfinder. So bad. I just want to make something happen because we're running out of time. Did find a troll. I think it's much too late for a troll though. Opponent, big attack. You can see they're slowly grinding us out of resources here. I want to keep the Wayfinder around. Yep. They're sitting pretty. We will mill. We did find a momentary blink. 8 creature cards. So we're not far away from winning, but we need more creatures. We need to draw another creature, basically. I mean, maybe we shouldn't have sacrificed everything for the Wayfinder, but then we wouldn't have been deeper in our deck for this. Bummer. Yep, we need creature number 3. We're holding up the momentary blink flashback if we need it. I don't really want to use it. Like, we could block and then blink, fill our graveyard, but that represents less damage at this point. I think I'd rather just take the 5. There is a world where we can win this next turn, but it's pretty... It would be a very rare sequence of events. Goliath Paladin, okay. They get initiative 2 as well. They must have removal or something too. All right. They're doing all kinds of fun stuff over there. God, it looks like they're having fun. I guess we lose Stinkweed. Our plan is to dredge 5 the Stinkweed, find 2 Scrapwork Mutts. Find 1 Scrapwork Mutt. We play Scrapwork Mutt. Can we find more? We're almost out of cards in our deck. We find Scrapwork Mutt. So we play black, this, that. Oh no, we needed a Scrapwork Mutt first. I didn't want to tap this down. Oh no, we're okay. Red, tap, Scrapwork Mutt. Finally, Snuff Out has a use. I knew Snuff Out was good. And then we Dread Return Lotleth Giant for not quite enough damage. Oh, so close. So close. Dang. If our mills after the Nile Spellbomb were a little better, not all this instant sorcery stuff, maybe we could have got there earlier with the blink. We're just shy of the blink mana. Or if we had that 3rd creature out and we didn't have to, yeah. But opponent has got us. Okay, well, good game. That was a little rough, but it was a fun match, actually. There was some funky things going on. Game plan didn't quite come together, but that's what happens in the game of Magic the Gathering. So we'll keep it going for round 3. Okay. Round 3. Round 3, and we got all our little friends. All our little forest buddies. It's kind of a goofy group, huh? Kind of a band of misfits. Just like we are, huh? Me and my viewers. Just a bunch of weird oddities. We're gonna keep... Okay. Well, could it be red again? Red with no turn one play. Not unhappy about that. Yeah, we'll start with a forest. We'll plan to swamp cycle. Uh-oh. Rakdos Dredge. Exhume. Woohoo! Jinx! You owe me a soda, opponent. Do we get our geothermal bog? Or do we just get a swamp? I think we're okay. Spider-Man pointing meme. Okay. That was fortuitous for us. But gotta be careful. Oh, is this one land spy or five or six land spy? Okay, so they have to reveal their hand. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this deck got an upgrade recently with this Sagu Wildling. Very cool. They find a forest. Okay, so now we know what's in their hand. We have our double black. We kind of have the edge on them with this attack, so I like that. And I think we've got plenty of lands here. I think I'm just gonna Circle of the Land Druid. What is a Circle of the Land, by the way? Okay, well, there we go. Future Exhume protection here. I think we've got a good shot at this, but this troll is definitely lowering the threshold they need to combo. If you're not familiar with how this deck works, they've got like 6 lands in the deck. They want to pull out as many of them as they can, and then they use Balustrade Spy to combo off, mill over their whole deck, and then Lotleth Giant to finish us off. So we're looking to develop our board here, and then probably turn 4 try to win. We will, yeah. Would be nice if we had Malevolent Rumble here. We're gonna get in for an attack. Yeah, let's just fill our graveyard as much as possible here. Opponent has to win this turn, I think. We find Momentary Blink. Yeah, we do not want a Dread Return yet. Yeah, Dread Return would be for about 5, it'd be 4 damage. Yeah, 4 damage. No, we're not gonna do that. Let's see if they can combo. They've got 4 mana for their Balustrade Spy, so they could just go for it, knowing that they're about to die. That doesn't look like a Balustrade Spy. Okay. They pick Sakura Tribe Elder. They mill over a Dread Return. This is too much. Going against another graveyard deck. There's too much on my screen. So they're leaving up 3 blockers. Looks like there's a Lotleth Giant. Pretty sure we can just double Dread Return Lotleth Giant if we want. Green. Inoc Wayfarer. Always play the dog first over the elemental. That's how you min-max. Sure. We found a Stinkweed Imp. And another Lotleth Giant. So I think we just win without attacking, potentially. We will discard Lotleth Giant, mill Stinkweed Imp. That's 7 creature cards. We dread return Lotleth Giant. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. And I think that'll do it. Yep. Okay. We do not have a Bojuka Bog. Sometimes Dredge runs Bojuka Bog. That could have been good. Otherwise, we could try to like, yeah. I think we just gnaw to the bone. If we can get like an early-ish gnaw to the bone, like a couple creatures in our graveyard early gnaw to the bone, it gets a lot harder for them to win off of 1 Lotleth Giant. We can go down some Exhumes here. Exhume, still a good finisher potentially for us, but definitely with what they've got going on, not as good. Do they run... They don't run Artifact Hate, right? They probably just have... They just have like Rotten Reunion or something. That's probably what I would do if I were them. Let's try it like this. Should have to be careful with our Exhumes. I almost want to just take the Exhumes out more and just focus on Momentary Blink Plan. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. Okay. We'll keep it. We'll try to go for the Exhume. We'll see what they've got. They might have to reveal their hand if they have Land Grant. Yep. Okay, they do have the Troll. They find a Forest. Land Grant again. They have Mesmeric Fiend. There's a Troll. Bummer for our turn to Exhume. Maybe that means we save the Exhume and just try to fill our graveyard and find Gnaw to the Bone. Let's see what we draw. Another Troll. Yep. Okay. They played Swamp and Forest. They're gonna do Mesmeric Fiend. I guess they could just take the Exhume. Do they value it that highly, or do they take Stinkweed Imp or Satyr Wayfinder? Give me no choice. Dawn Treader Elk searches for lands, Faithless Looting, but they don't have red mana. Acorn Harvest costs 4. Yeah, they're wondering what they should do. They take Stinkweed Imp, not a bad idea. I don't know if I should use the Exhume here, because then they get to attack in with it right away, and then they're kind of ahead. Maybe I want to just Satyr Wayfinder. No lands, but we find a Stinkweed Imp. Let's hope to dodge some Grave Hate and start dredging. Maybe we can save our Exhume for a Lotleth Giant rather than giving them Troll value. Because the lower our life gets, it becomes really easy for them to combo off. But if we stay at a healthy 20-ish, it's going to be, they're going to have to pull a lot more lands out of their deck. Stinkweed Imp. We find a Gnaw to the Bone, so we might just be casting Gnaw to the Bone this turn. Probably, I don't know, my Magic does this like thing where it's not highlighted. I wanted to play the Holdout Settlement, but we'll hold out on that for now. Maybe I just do this before any weird grave hate happens. Yep, Knot to the Bone. It's gonna be a lot harder for them to combo. We can save some time this way. They find their red mana so they can Faithless Looting. They also have Acorn Harvest in hand, which they probably want to discard with Faithless Looting. Is this a Rumble? Malevolent Rumble. They find Relic of Progenitus. Boo! So they're probably going to cast that. Or do they keep Chrysalis or something? Yep, they choose Relic. They probably cast Relic. Well, I'm glad we got our Knot to the Bone value off. I'm surprised they're running Relic. They have to exile their own graveyard? We will exile Rumble. Because we could do a funky thing where we exhume they exile the graveyards, and then in response we cycle this, but then we kind of get blown out if they just decide to let the exhume happen and take their troll happily. I wonder if they would do that though. They probably also don't want to activate this too late. When we would be getting maybe a Lotleth Giant, or would we get a troll? Because they have trouble dealing with the troll. Otherwise, what are we doing? Casting Stinkweed Imp? It's kind of anemic. Let's try this. It's a little spicy. Nope, they let it happen. So if I get Lotleth Giant, it's 5 damage now. Or I can get Troll. Let's get Lotleth Giant. So it's at least out of the graveyard. It would be nice if I could follow this up with a creature. I guess we'll just Scrapwork Mutt while we can. Just cycle this. Ooh, we find a Dread Return for another Lotleth Giant if we want. Then we gotta sacrifice everything and then they'll definitely activate it. So let's not do that, but that is a threat. Guess there's no point in attacking. Okay, well, kind of a wonky turn. Very wonky turn. But they lose so much of their graveyard if they activate their relic. That's a bummer for them. But I probably should have brought Troll back, because now they can block while they have a fast clock here. Maybe we just need to set up Stinkweed Imp to block the Troll. Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. Bring back the Troll, and then we have a faster clock because we've gained so much life. Sure, we will exile our Exhume. We might just Knot to the Bone to force them. Yeah, Knot to the Bone. And then start refilling our graveyard with the Wayfinder. Yep. They exile our graveyards, sure. So no Nod to the Bones left. Question is, do I attack or do I leave back my blockers for the troll? Find Dread Return. There's no point in attacking. They just block and sacrifice, which they want to do anyway. I might just triple block to preserve this high life total, because they've lost a few creatures. 1, 2, 3. They've lost 3 creatures, and it's going to be a little harder for them to combo off, maybe. So if we stay at 26 life. Let's see what they do. They've got a Faithless Looting and an Acorn Harvest still. Very puzzling game. Okay. Maybe our opponent is having some connectivity issues here. Weird that they're getting in with the Mesmeric Fiend. I don't really care about that Stinkweed Imp. We're just going to do this. They can kill 2 of them. I don't know. They got a lot of cards in their hand. I don't know what they're plotting here. Here comes Faithless. They've got 4 mana open for Balustrade Spy, potentially. They discard Chrysalis and Sagu Wildling, and here's their combo. Looks like, yep, Balustrade Spy. They mill their entire deck, so they have to win right here, which I think they will. Let's just see it happen. How many creature cards? Why doesn't it give me a count? Oh, 28 creature cards. We're at 25 life. Darn. Darn. Well, there we go. Okay. Not to the Bone is a good plan, but we lost them all in that relic, so that sucked. Exhume. I don't know. Zoom kind of ruined us there, I think. I should not have trusted the Exhume. Maybe we go 2 Blinks and 2 Ancient Grudges in case they get an early Nile Spellbomb, or we can force the Nile Spellbomb. So you can like force the Nile Spellbomb with the Ancient Grudge and then Nod to the Bone in response or something. Yeah, definitely misplayed that Exhume. So let's just remove all temptation. We're on the play. And we got some stuff. We got some graveyard fillers. So let's give it a try. We got Dread Return, so we want to find a second black source. We'll just start with the Geothermal Bog, and then Satyr Wayfinder turn 2. And hope for some spicy draws. Opponent milled to 6, so that's nice. Let's see what they kick things off with. No land grant because they had the forest in hand. They also didn't use land grant after that, so they might have another land in hand or just no land grants. We will Satyr Wayfinder. What a great guy. I love this card. Boom, mill 4 cards. No lands, that's okay. We'll find him. We'll find him. We did get a Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard and a Scrapwork Mutt. We've got our red source ready for Scrapwork Mutt. Opponent might be on the Exhume plan. Let's see. We've got no backup for that. We'll get some value, but they probably sided out their Exhumes, right? Stinkweed Imp. Dredge. There's Nod to the Bone. I think we attack. I think opponent wants to use this ability, so they'll block and sack. But I doubt we'll lose our Wayfinder. Yep. Just make them do that. They got their colors. It's kind of mana efficient to Gnaw to the Bone right now for 10 life. And if they have Relic of Progenitus, it's a little better, but I think we want to find another black source. So let's try to do that. We don't. It's okay. We filled our graveyard a little more. We're not afraid of a Mesmeric Fiend. They can take whatever they want. Malevolent Rumble. They find a Balustrade Spy if they want it. It's probably what they take, right? That's the only thing they can take. Or a Forest. Oh, they choose Forest. So do they already have a Balustrade Spy in hand? Or they can always Exhume it or Dread Return it, I guess. This turn we're looking to Dredge and Gnaw to the Bone, I think. Let's see, we do mill over the Lotleth Giant if we want it though. Let's attack, see what happens. Kind of want to get aggressive here. Do I? I just think they can't win if I Gnaw to the Bone. And then our Lotleth Giant is a little more threatening next turn. They might find a Relic of Progenitus, but we can refill our graveyard if need be. Opponent is Breath Weaponing, sure. That sucks. But I guess that means if we had cast a third creature, they would have Breath Weaponed in response, so not mad that we ended up gnawing to the bone there. Feels like opponent needs to get in some troll attacks or a bunch of attacks before comboing us now. Malevolent Rumble. Maybe they take a Chrysalis? Or do they need to pull another land out of their deck? They take Sagu Wildling, so they need to pull a land out of their deck. They will Roost Seek. Very cool, very pretty. Dragon action in my Magic. There's Mesmeric Fiend. It's going to take Dread Return, I assume. So finding a black source no longer gets us an instant Lotleth Giant. Yep. Dread Return. Well, let's see. Do we Stinkweed Imp? I think we want to draw a land, and we've got... What does Stinkweed Imp give us? We could find more... I think we want to draw something other than Stinkweed Imp. Yeah, we want more creatures like this. I wish we could find a land, though. I want to try and discard Stinkweed and try to find a land. No, we don't. Darn. Maybe next turn we can. I just really need to get to 3 creatures. All the while filling our graveyard. Next turn we might be able to get to 3 creatures if we draw a land. Well, we'll probably be dredging. We want a Satyr Wayfinder, find a untapped land, and then play Scrapwork Mutt or something. Opponent doing something big here. Uh-oh. What do they got? Is this like an X spell, or is this just a hard cast troll, I guess? Opponent's clock has arrived. Let's see it. Oh, Nyxborn Hydra, bestow. Okay. Give their Mesmeric Fiend reach and trample. They've built their own clock here. We don't have an easy way to kill that. They're tapped out. So do we want to try to draw for a land, or do we want to try to Stinkweed Imp to maximize our dredges? See, no lands. Ugh. This is so painful. Opponent still needs to get in a couple more attacks, though. So painful. We just cannot find a land off of any of our dudes here. Well, we'll see what the opponent has. We might win next turn. There's always next turn. Opponent does not block. Okay. Such a bummer. I miss 1-drops. I'm going back to mono red. What do they got? Can they combo us? Probably not. Relic of Progenitus kind of ruins their combo too at this point, with how many creatures they have in their graveyard. They really should be running Nile Spellbomb, I think. They are playing a Chrysalis, perhaps? No? Balustrade Spy, Chrysalis? They're doing some big math here. I will not block. GG. Guess he knows exactly how much damage he can do. Oh, what a bummer. How many creature cards is this? Why doesn't it tell me? Where's the count, huh? Okay, let's see the GG then. We're at 28. It should be, yeah, it should be enough creatures. Oh, it's so frustrating. If we found another land... Dread Return. I just want to see the final count. Troll? What happened? Oh, GG because we won? Where's his Lotleth Giant? I'm so confused. Lotleth Giant stuck in his hand? Can someone explain this to me? Can someone smarter than me explain this? Lotleth Giant stuck in his hand? So he needed to mill his whole graveyard, but then he can't cast it. So can't he like Dread Return? I don't remember what he had in his graveyard. Can't he Dread Return Balustrade Spy and then he doesn't have enough land for... So I'm very confused. I guess he just didn't have it. Okay. Does that mean Lotleth Giant was in his hand? Someone explain that to me in the comments. But anyway, happy to come out ahead on that because yikes. That was a little dicey. Let's keep it going for round 4, huh? Okay. I will be on the play. I'm against the god, Mike DeVoe. This hand really doesn't do that much, huh? Am I supposed to mull something like this? I guess I can blink the Prowler. Let's try out the blink, I guess. I guess blink is like a second creature so long as he sticks around. So, and I would keep a hand with 2 millers in it. So let's try it. The opponent won't necessarily know that they need to kill the creature. And then with the troll, we can find our black-red land, just for some added flexibility. Okay, we got some artifact funkiness going on over there. Could be like Wildfire, Jund Wildfire or something. Opponents probably shaking in their boots, worrying about an Exhume, but we do not have the Exhume. Blanchwood Prowler, no lands, we find, there was the Exhume right on top. Oh, so close. But got a Lotless Giant in the yard. I think I should have Holdout Settlemented there rather than black mana, but hindsight is 2020. Circle the Land Druid. Okay, we're probably playing that and then getting our tap land down, I suppose. Let's attack for 2 and begin the whittling of our opponent's life total. We will circle the Land Druid. We will mill 4. We find Troll, Haunted Mire, Lotless Giant, circle of the Land Druid. Okay, getting the creature count up. We would like to find a Dread Return at this time. Dread Return or Exhume would be nice. Stinkweed Imp would be cool. Since we've got the Scrapwork Ooh, we got some Tarkir Dragonland Spice. Opponent's deck is freshly swagged out. Very nice. Round of applause. Refurbished Familiar. Boo. Let's discard our black mana. Refurbished Familiar. Vicious little card. Luckily, on all the Dredge decks I play, usually there's things that you don't mind discarding, but once they start chaining together back-to-back familiars, it's a pretty bad situation for us. Troll. We're not that far away from casting that. Okay, Holdout Settlement. I guess we Momentary Blink. Let's attack, and whichever one they block, maybe they won't block. Oh, we screwed up. We can't Holdout Settlement. We can't Momentary Blink. Not me trying to learn with a new card. Bummer. Okay. Well, that was a flub of a turn, huh? I don't really want to bring this back right now. Yeah. That sucked. Now they've got a Refurbished Familiar in the graveyard. Darn. I guess I should have just done it pre-combat or waited till their turn to confuse them. Fanatical Offering, okay. They're cooking up some juiciness over there. Yeah, I don't know what happened with my auto yields. Blood Fountain. They're setting up some stuff, okay. Question is, do I troll here just to thin out my deck and get a creature card in the graveyard? I think so. We're still like a few turns away from casting it, so. There goes our last swamp. We find Stinkweed Imp. Okay, let's bring back Stinkweed, Scrapwork Mutt, and do the old Scrapwork Stinkweed dredging trick. We find a momentary blink. We find a dread return. Okay. Opponent is tapped out, so we're gonna attack, and then we're just gonna dread return a Lotleth Giant. And then if opponent can't do anything, we're gonna start blinking. We'll get this. We'll just get get the holdout settlement back. Very nice. Okay. What do you got, opponent? They have to have something to kill this, right? They've got 8 cards. They got a lot of juice over there. And if they do kill it, we're in kind of a rough spot. I guess we'll be dredging back Stinkweed Imp and searching for more action. Searching for more Scrapwork Mutts would be a good draw. But it seems unlikely we'll be able to get to 3 creatures next turn if we find a dread return. Opponent is doing some big thinking. Do they just play a chump blocker? And the best case scenario for us is they play down something that can block the Lotleth Giant, thinking that they can survive. They're probably even scared to kill the Lotleth Giant in case I have an Exhume. Blood token, they're digging. They get rid of their makeshift munitions. Seems like an important card for them, so they must be desperate. Opponent's gonna let us untap. I guess we don't need Stinkweed Imp. We will, yeah, we're gonna force their hand here. Okay. I was worried this Scrapwork Mutt wouldn't resolve, and then we don't have a holdout settlement tap here. I should have played the second holdout settlement. No, because then we don't have 2 things to tap. Okay. We will, sure, we'll discard holdout settlement. Okay, so we're going to attack with Lotleth Giant. And whatever they do, we're going to blink it. There's the cast down. We momentary blink. Could it be the Blink Dream? Do you have a second removal? Yes! Momentary blink works! Oh! I guess they could have seen that from our graveyard. We could have potentially flashed back the other one. Wow! Yes! Cool. That was fun. I guess we want the Artifact Hate here. They'll probably be running Nile Spellbomb. Other than that, do we care about Dispel? Probably not. We could ruin one of their like fanatical offerings, but seems a little crusty. I'll go down at least an Exhume, at least one Exhume. Exhume's a little rough with the Refurbished Familiar. Do we go down 2 Exhumes? Let's try it like that. Yep. Okay. Well, we got Blink to work in a situation where we would have been cooked otherwise, so that's pretty cool. We will keep this hand. We've got our Imp. We've got some Rumbles. Let's get ready to rumble. Opponent is probably strapped with Grave Hate. They went down to 6 cards. Forest, very demure start by us. Classic Forest and pass. No land cycling, nothing funky going on here. Vault of Whispers, that could be an Ancient Grudge target if we find one. Yep, we got no cyclers, so we'll just pass it right along. Oh, how I wish we had cyclers. Okay. Do we rumble to try and find something? Or do we get the creature down? I think we rumble. And then maybe we can look to Exhume next turn. Exhume plus something else with the Eldrazi token. We find Ancient Grudge. Since we have an Ancient Grudge, I'll get an extra forest. Yeah, we'll see. See what opponent does. Ancient Grudge, that's nice insurance if they play out Grave Hate right now. Otherwise, we can try and nuke their black mana, make them stumble a bit. If they play Refurbished Familiar, maybe we Stinkweed Imp and dredge it back. I like that. They go with a tap land. They might sack their land in response. Then they're not getting Wellspring value. So I could either go... Could I do Rumble, Druid, Rumble, play Forest, Druid. I don't think we have enough green mana for... Yeah, we need 3 green mana for to Ancient Grudge along with all of that stuff, so... We could go like Rumble, Exhume. I think taking them off black mana would be good though. Do I further my game plan or de-further theirs? And then we'll still have the spawn for next turn, so let's try to do that. See what that does. If I'm gonna do it at all, it has to be early. Make them stumble on it. They'll probably sack it in response. So maybe you could argue not the most efficient use of Ancient Grudge, but if it takes them off black mana, that could really slow them down. Yep, there's their insight. And then they're not getting that extra card off of Ichor Wellspring, which they can probably find a different way to sack, but it's going to take them a little longer. I suppose I will just rumble again. There's a troll we can exhume, and we'll take a Circle the Land Druid. And we've got a Dread Return on deck as well. So big turn next turn, and opponent is falling behind on lands. We're cosplaying as a land destruction deck very briefly here to try and get an edge. They do have a black mana. They play the Refurbished Familiar. So we'll get our Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard. Don't mind that. We'll see if we can dredge into something good too. Maybe we'll consider Lotleth Giant if we find Lotleth Giant plus a blinker. We find another Ancient Grudge. I like that. We're definitely playing Holdout Settlement. We will probably just be exhuming the troll first off. Exhume Troll, Circle the Land Druid, and then I guess we Circle the Land Druid first. Green, tap, sack. Mill 4. Yes. We find a blink. Interesting. So if we find a... Be cool to find a Lotleth Giant here soon. We will Grudge. And then Exhume. Get our clock online. And we've even got an Eldrazi spawn left over in case we need to Dread Return, something spicy. Cleansing Wildfire. Yep, see, they're still searching for their lands here. It's still a bonkers card, but they get their cool Dragon Eye Swamp, and they're tapped out. So I think we could win it here. We're gonna get in for 2. Might as well. Might as well. Another troll. Well, we could look to Dread Return the Troll as well, but I don't think so. Not yet anyway. Let's see what we can mill over. Yes, mill 4 cards. We really want to find a Lotleth Giant, if I'm being completely honest with you. We could blink something, but yeah, we could Dread Return something. We could just play a Stinkweed Imp as a blocker. If we blink, how much creatures do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 creatures only. So it's probably not worth blinking, milling, finding a Lotleth Giant, and then Dread Returning. Because then we'll be doing like 8 damage without a blink. I guess if we don't find anything, we could just bring back a troll. Let's try it. Let's try it. We're going to tap this guy. No, we're not going to do this, because we're going to lose the creature. Yeah, we're not going to do this. Let's just cast Stinkweed Imp. We could leave up the blink, in case we need to protect something, but Stinkweed Imp, it's a little blocker, a little annoying for them. And we want to get it into our graveyard. They might just not attack. They're drawing a lot of cards here, but it's a little late to be drawing cards, don't you think? We seem to have successfully set them back with the 1 mana land destruction 2 turns in a row. That's really hard to beat. I mean, maybe I was supposed to Swamp Cycle, sack, Dread Return the other troll, and have lethal and get a bunch of lands to my hand. Maybe that was the move. We'd rather sack the Stinkweed Imp. Let's see what they do. Bajuka Bog. Dun dun dun. Okay. With a white border. Ah, it's blinding. That's just BM. Okay, well that's pretty scary. They have got a full hand of cards. We've just lost our graveyard. Very sad. But our creature's not doing much here, and we can get a troll. We can get a second troll back here. And another blink. What does blink do for us? So we can blink plus troll. We can also just cast the troll. That's stronger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or we can blink. They have so many cards. I'm kind of scared of what they've got going on. So maybe I need to preserve my resources. Here and just hard cast the troll. Then we've got a backup in case something happens to it. Okay, opponent, can you deal with 2 trolls and 3 units of 1 damage? Can you do it? I don't need my graveyard anymore. If this was mono red, we would have been cooked by that Bojuka Bog, but sometimes you just need a big troll from Lord of the Rings to win you the game. What can you do, opponent? 5 mana, maybe 6? They will do something, or they won't do anything. They do not attack. You're acting very suspicious, Mr. Opponent. What have you got in there, huh? What have you got? Let's see it. Got like a breath weapon or something. Kark Clan Shaman. No! Do they have the Death Touch toxin analysis? Come on. Boo. Boo. Refurbished Familiar. Okay. I guess we lose the Blink, because I want to be able to cast Dread Return from hand if need be. There it is. Why were they slow rolling that so long, huh? Ay, ay, ay. Okay, well this just turned into a whole other game. We would have liked to lose our Stinkweed Imp there, actually. Opponent gains a bunch of life. Ay, 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 they're grinding us now. There's the Lotleth Giant, like some sort of sick joke. Come on. Guess we gotta keep leaving Stinkweed back. And we'll try to Dread Return. Troll. Oh, so bad. Very cool lands. I don't like our position. Definitely not. Another Refurbished Familiar. Okay, it's not the worst in the graveyard, but we need more creatures. Opponent, how are they going to get through? Eventually they need to just attack through the Stinkweed Imp, right? Or do they have a way to exile it or something? They had Grave Hate, they could like kill it and then use Grave Hate. That's probably their way out. I don't know if they have another Bojuka Bog or if they have some Nile Spell Bombs. That seems plausible with their deck. Cleansing Wildfire. Yes, sir. Opponent can triple block our troll if they want, I guess. And then Blood Fountain all their Refurbished Familiars back, and then we're cooked. Yeah, I don't like our position. We need to like draw Milling Creature. If we draw Milling Creature, mill some stuff, then we're able to attack, and then we're able to... I think it's just better for us to block here. Let's see if they have Grave Hate. Feels like they could, or maybe they're just deciding they need to get a clock going here. Maybe they don't have a way to deal with the troll very easily, so they're just trying to speed up their clock. We will dredge that back. We find Scrapwork Mutt, which is awkward. Scrapwork Mutt's very awkward here, because we cannot hold out Settlement. Ugh. Holdout Settlement's looking funky here. They just have a cast down. Okay. Then I guess we'll just cast this. Yikes. Now all of their refurbished familiars draw cards. Ichor Wellspring. What a grindy game. Grindy, grindy, grindy. I was hoping to close it out on this one, but I'm not so sure. I feel like maybe we've got like a 30% shot of winning. If they draw a Grave Hate, we're pretty cooked. Here comes Blood Fountain. Oh, there's Spellbomb. Yep. Yep. Yeah, the late Spellbomb is really hard to beat. We have one Dread Return left in the deck. Lotleth Giant. We've got 2 Giants left, I think. There's their Blood Fountain, so they're going to draw a million cards next turn. Ah, so bad. Okay. Well, we'll probably wrap this up soon so we can save on time. But let's see what little Blanchwood Prowler finds us. We do find an Ancient Grudge. Which I think we just pop off on that Blood Fountain. And we found Stinkweed Imp. Only 17 cards in our library, but I know there's a Dread Return. I know there's Lotleth Giants. And I know we've got Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard, so let's see. Let's see if we can thread the needle. Otherwise, we'll move it on to round. It feels like we were so close this game. We just kind of didn't come together in the right order, which is how Dredge loses, I suppose. There's another Blood Fountain. So they're going to get their refurbished familiars back. Draw a card, draw a card. Right? Is that what they do? Yep. Draw a card. So good. What a great creature. It's pretty bad for us. They discard. Twisted Landscape. They're going to get in for 2. Yep. We will dredge. We find Dread Return and Stinkweed Imp. We could do something here, right? We could Scrapwork. Find something to... Ay. That's not what we wanted to find. This is our last Dread Return. Yeah, we need to find Lotleth Giant there and then somehow smash it through. Not it. I don't want to use the last Dread Return for that. Opponent pops off. I mean, this game's over. They got 7 cards. Yeah, we're not going to be able to deal 12 damage to them. Okay. Well, I think our sideboard plan was solid. We just needed to be a little faster. Hit a Lotleth Giant a little earlier. So we'll run it back. We'll try to play a little faster. of course. Otherwise, we will have a problem with the time. The game timer. Lots of grave hate. Bajuka Bogs are out in full force these days. And then you stack a couple Nile spell bombs. We really made him stumble at the beginning too. I think, I don't know, maybe there was some line that I missed, but couldn't quite get there. This hand, we'll try it. Scrapwork Mutt, Stinkweed Imp, and we've got Lotleth Giant and Dread Return. We really need to draw into some other stuff, but we've got a way to fill our graveyard pretty fast, which means finding Ancient Grudges and, you know, finding more Scrapworks or more Stinkweeds. It's possible this hand should have been a mulligan. I don't know. Maybe we don't want 3 combo pieces in hand. Opponent is thinking hard about their hand. Oh, they've gone down to 5 cards. Are they digging for grave hate or something? We'll see. Not unhappy to see a 5-card start. There's a troll, so that's not bad. We need to find more lands for sure. I guess this is a land next turn, so we can safely dredge this guy, get the pressure on. If we can find, we find a Dread Return. This opponent should take a couple turns to, oh my gosh, that's annoying. Bajuka Bog, that's okay. I didn't want those cards anyway. We will, yeah, play a forest and make sure I didn't mill over all my swamps. We'll act Demure, Swamp Cycle on the end step. Opponent is going to Cleansing Wildfire. Ultra Mega Ramp. Yeah, I guess I was destroying their lands last game, but this deck does some crazy ramping with the Cleansing Wildfire. Really busted card there. Let's find a swamp. Want untapped land. We can use this to find our other red-black land. Yep. See if they can beat an early-ish troll. It's not in a turn 2 Exhume, but we'll see. They do have Cast Down, so that could hurt us. They could do a Cork Clan Shaman at any point as well. But if we can get a couple hits in, that would be great. At least one hit. Otherwise, they can take their turn off to remove it. And we've got another Dread Return on deck. Yeah, kind of a slow hand here, but powerful. Let's see what they got. Ichor Wellspring. They're digging. They could have a Nile Spell Bomb in hand that they're holding. Refurbished Familiar. We'll discard a Stinkweed? See if we can get a Dredge off. There's the Spell Bomb, okay. think I will still dredge so we can keep the stinkweed. Since we've got scrapwork mutt, if we have a stinkweed in hand, we can always recover from the spell bomb. Yep. We're gonna attack. Opponent's got our graveyard on the ropes, but they've still got an immediate threat here to deal with. Do I swamp cycle this right now and get my red source? Dread return. We could dread return something so they get no value. They get no card draw off of their Nile spell bomb. We already milled over our geothermal bog. I guess we can try to do this now. They will spell bomb, they don't get the card draw, and then we can refill with these, and we have a Dread Return and a Lotleth Giant still in our possession. And let's hope for not a second Grave Hate. There's Dread Return. Okay. Let's see if we can piece something together here. Do they have their Kark Clan 2-card combo Shaman? Refurbished Familiar. We could Stinkweed. We could Lotleth Giant, and then next turn we have the option of playing Stinkweed, sacking 3. Probably not for lethal. Discard Stinkweed because I think we still want to do the Dredge. They're drawing cards. They're looking for something. They probably have like 3 or 4 Nile spell bombs in their deck, so very likely they could find one again off of all these draws. They need Kark Clan Shaman plus Toxin Analysis or another spell bomb, I think. We don't have the mana to unearth that either, so that plan is no good. If we find Ancient Grudge, are we just firing it off at Refurbished Familiars? Maybe. It's not great though. Cast down. Bummer. Question is, do I dredge? Because we want to draw some like 2-drop creatures. If we dredge, we can't flash back any scrapwork mutts. We can't really do anything with what we dredge. Okay, we find one. That's good. Slow though. I hate being in this position with this deck where you're just hoping to dredge stuff over. Ancient Grudge. We can fire off at something. And then next turn, we can Stinkweed into a Dread Return, potentially. 5 creature cards. Duress doesn't do anything. I wouldn't mind if they discarded the Lotleth Giant, actually. That'd be awesome. Hoping for another Refurbished Familiar, actually. Chrysalis. Ugh. That sucks. Okay, so let's Or just Ancient Grudge, a familiar? I don't think I really care about that yet. We will dredge. We find a lot with Giant. So, but we did not, but we dredged a bunch of lands. So if we do this, we're just short. Why do you do this to me, deck? Why? Right? But I think we need to get it. I think we need to get our Lotleth Giant out of the graveyard in case hate comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll be one land away from casting this guy once we return something off of the Circle of the Land Druid. Yeah, we're gonna bring back Lotleth Giant. We'll take a holdout settlement. Running low on time. Yep, just short on creatures here. Sadly. Is there any sense in Scrapwork Mutt? So I don't think we can get to... We've lost 3 Dread returns, so there's only 1 left. Opponent is digging. I guess if we find a momentary blink, it would be good. Fanatical Offering. Opponent is really digging for Grave Hate, I suppose. They're scared. But we don't have them dead. Not quite. But I think we Stinkweed Imp Dredge to find either Dread Return or our Blink spell. Especially now that we've dropped another Lotleth Giant. So we get 10 dredges here. They're gonna explore. Okay. Looks like they don't have the spell bomb. Well, turn off auto yields. Do I just Ancient Grudge this familiar? Why not? Not many better targets. Okay, this is the big turn. We'll dredge. We find not our Dread Return. Unfortunately, we don't find our Blink spell either. Sucks. So we need to use our red mana here. Need to unearth. Gotta find it. Come on. Come on, Dread Return. We never do. We never find it. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Well, opponent has to have something. We have Ancient Grudge. Darn. We really need to find our momentary blink. My heart is pounding. Oh, so sad. Save time. Well, we're all in here, so opponent's got a handful of cards and board full of lands to, I mean, toxin analysis might mess us up if they gain a bunch of life and kill our creatures. We really, if we had a second red, then we would have been cooking, because then we could like Scrapwork Mutt, find the Dread Return, bring back Lotleth Giant. Yeah, we lost 3 already. opponent surely has something to mess us up here. Darn. Are we so close? All of these games are always... mill giveth and mill taketh away. Well, their Eviscerator's inciting, so that's using up a lot of their lands. They really want to find that Nile Spellbomb, I guess, because they don't seem to have another way to push through a win. But if they do find that Nile Spellbomb, we're in trouble. And by trouble, I mean we're dead, probably. Especially because we got no time. But opponent's not casting it right away, so... they can't find their Spellbomb, I can't find my Dread Return. It's all evening out in the end. They might also have like a removal spell they're considering holding up in case I get a... if I try to play a third creature. I suppose I will definitely mill with Stinkweed and then bring back Scrapwork if I need to. We will not block. Because that way we got 2 more creatures coming. Come on, Momentary Blink. We find the Momentary Blink. So do we cast that? Do they have a removal spell in response? Gosh. Or I could Scrapwork and try to find, which is resistant to a removal spell. I could Scrapwork, and hope that Dread Return is in my deck. I'm really scared of Momentary Blinking blown out here by Cast Down. So I think I gotta do Scrapwork. Although if they had a Cast Down, they might do it right here to keep me off 3 creatures. They do have Cast Down. Okay. Yep. So good thing we did not blink. Blink is such a bad card. Why are we playing it? No, it's just not the right situation. Okay. And we still don't find... We still don't find our Dread Return. Oh, please. Please. God, we need another holdout settlement down here. This is just worse than being at the dentist, this game. Permanent. Still searching for their Grave Hate. Will they find it before we find our one of Dread Return still in the deck? We're not even resistant to Cast Down anymore. Well, yeah, we will be, because we'll... Yep, they're drawing cards. 8 cards in hand. This game is a mess. This game is a mess. Wildfire. Okay. And they have the Eldrazi spawn if they need to sack it for Nile Spellbomb. They don't find it. We mill. We find... We really don't find Dread Return. What? That's crazy. So what do we have to do? We have to draw Dread Return? Do I really have another Dread Return? Do I actually? Because it won't let us dredge. There's only 3 cards in our library. It's not going to let us dredge. I knock. Am I missing something? Is it really the last card in our deck? There it is! Dread Return, Lotleth Giant. Holy moly. Oh. My god. That one shaved a few years off my life. What the heck? Well, that was cool. That was wonky as heck, but that's the kind of games we play here. The wonkiest, the bizarriest, the oddest, the better. If you actually watch that game, give me a little winking emoji in the chat, because you're a real one for sticking through that nightmare. Well, let's see if we can close it out strong. Well, after that last game, need some creature comforts from Midna here. Opa, good luck from Luis. Say good luck, have fun. Midna, say hi. She's sleepy, I just disturbed her from her nap. Okay, we're on the Exhume plan. Are we? It's kind of risky. Kind of risky, huh? I guess maybe we don't turn to Exhume. We could if we draw an untapped land. Against Madness though, maybe I really don't want to mess us up by not finding a green source though. Yeah, we're gonna find it. If we draw into an untapped land, we can still Exhume. Otherwise, yeah, I didn't want to be stuck on 2 swamps. That would be tough. But there is an argument for it. But yeah, see, we're not drawing anything. I guess this is the Exhume term. If they want to use double burn spell, be my guest. That buys us some time. Opponent is running smoothly with their deck. Alms of the Vein is making their our clock a little slower. They're drawing cards. They're playing Epicures. Very nice, very nice. We will probably look to Malevolent Rumble, and if we find a land, we can Scrapwork Mutt. Opponent cannot attack. Luckily, with our troll in the way. Einok Wayfarer. Okay. Opponent's tapped out, so we can just do this pre-combat. We will try to find a land. Untapped source. Yeah, I guess so. We got our double black for if we draw, we have our Dread Return. Got double black for Dread Return. We will probably get the Lotleth Giant in the graveyard. Scrapwork. And we will Dredge. Very nice. Fast clock here. That's exactly what we need in this matchup. Opponent probably doesn't have Grave Hate main deck. They're going fast too though. They got their snackers, their alms. Alms definitely buying them some health here. We'll not block that. I think we might be able to win here soon. Yeah, we win. We attack. Yeah, opponent did not find a land either. Oh no, the sad cleanup kitchen imps. I'm sorry, Louise. Sorry you had to do that. Wow, we have it all. So we will just attack. And then we can just Dread Return, Dread Return. Dread Return, Lotleth Giant. We could Exhume Dread Return, and then Dread Return Lotless Giant. Yeah, smooth as butter. Smooth as butter. Okay, against this deck, Gnaw seems good, and then they probably have Nile's Spell Bombs. Ancient Grudge is just okay. Exhume was pretty good there, huh? Keep hesitating to take out the blinks because that's what I want to test. We could go down. We could go down to 29 creatures. Is that bad? We could just go down and Exhume. I feel like Exhume is okay if you get it early in this matchup, but try it like that. We will try it. Maybe we should just be all in on the not to the bone plan. Sometimes I think I do too much with my sideboarding. I'm trying to get a little bit of everything. Should just commit. Because Ancient Grudge, a little wonky against Nile's Spellbomb. Anyway, this is a mulligan. We haven't had to mulligan too much. This hand we will keep. Will we? That's awkward. Yeah, Holdout Settlement is a little rough in some of these hands. That's what I'm finding. It's a great hand otherwise, but I think we'll go to 5. We mulligan pretty well. That's not good. That's not good. At least we have a Scrapwork Mutt. Probably send back Momentary Blink. Well, we need to draw some untapped land, especially a forest. Yeah, double Holdout Settlement is not the vibe, but we can Scrapwork Mutt at least. Try and piece it together. Jagged Barrens. Very awkward start, so not feeling too great about this. We're also on the draw. Yeah. Suppose we discard Einok Wayfarer. We find a Dread Return. This is just screaming kill my Scrapwork Mutt here, since I can't find lands. If opponent picks up on that, we're in trouble. Looks like a Vampire's Kiss or a Grab the Prize, yep. Fiery Temper, let's see where Fiery Temper goes. They would be smart if they threw it at the Scrapwork Mutt, I think. They don't. Okay, going for the throat here. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hopefully we can find a forest off of the Wayfinder. We cannot block. We need our Scrapwork friend. Yeah, not good. Forest. Very awkward. We've very smooth game last game, and now we're just seeing all the wrong sides of it. We might have to block here. Save some life. Because that represents like 3 more damage over the course of the next 2 or 3 more damage over the course of the next couple turns. Opponent, Spell Bomb. Bummer. This game is not it. This is not how we win. This situation is bad. This is a Holdout Settlement nightmare scenario. They exile our graveyard. We've got other ways to refill it. I'm more concerned about the land situation here. So the fact that they didn't hold that over our heads for a while, maybe that's kind of good for us. But yeah, Lotless Giant, come on. We're still not drawing what we need to draw. You guys and gals out there, don't try this at home. This is not good. we're dead, almost certainly. What a sad game. Very sad. Opponent is stacked over there with blood tokens. I guess we'll block. If opponent had Fiery Tempered our Scrapwork Mud at the beginning, we would have been even more screwed, potentially. Although our draws would have changed since we wouldn't have been milling. So it comes down to this, huh? So we really have to Scrapwork Mutt, discard Lotleth Giant, and see if we can draw land. That would be great. I'm tweaking out. I can't handle it. And we're just dead. Shall I exhume a Voldaren Epicure for that final damage, opponent? Alright, alright. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Very funny, deck. Very funny. You gave us a holdout settlement. Worst case scenario. How about we instead draw all the lands we need in the correct order. Opponent fired off their Nile Spellbomb quite fast. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes, deck. Yes. Thank you. We've got our sideboard card in our hand. We've got ways to fill our graveyard. So we're looking to get these off and then do like a sort of early-ish Gnaw to the Bone before opponent has a chance to Nile Spellbomb, maybe. Maybe we'll even find an Ancient Grudge within these mills to help ward against that. Let's see. We have our tap land first. Your turn, opponent. Great Furnace. That would be a great Ancient Grudge target as well. You know how I love to do that. Okay, very nice. More lands. Very, very nice. Should we rumble? Or Wayfinder? It's Wayfinder. Nice. We're gonna start dredging, looks like. Find that Stinkweed Imp. Very cool. We could even go for a Gnaw to the Bone next turn. Let's see. Fiery Temper. Flying at our face. Opponent does not find a land. I was like you once, opponent. I think I will block this. They seem to be hiccuping here. We will dredge. We find an Ancient Grudge. That's so juicy. Yeah, we don't need to Gnaw to the Bone yet, right? We can rumble and then Ancient Grudge. We will take a Scrapwork Mutt at this point, since we've got the Stinkweeds rolling. Yep. And we'll take them off red. Yes. Yes, opponent. Yes. We got a Momentary Blink as well. Okay, we're in a very good position here. Very, very good. Oh, they found another Great Furnace. Is that off the top? Shoot. Faithless Looting. Then they find their Nile Spellbomb. And then we cry. We can rebuild. We can rebuild. This deck does have a lot of grind potential, so it's not just a win if we gnaw to the bone. We need to definitely back it up with some power. We will dredge, because if we find another gnaw to the bone, it's crazy. We're probably looking to scrapwork mutt. And then gnaw to the bone. We find Dread returns and a troll, which we could get a troll out this turn. Maybe that's what we do. Oh my god. I'm so bad at this game. I have to sacrifice the token to get the... Okay. Guys, you didn't see that. You did not see that. That was a huge punt. Huge punt. And then they find the spell bomb. Yep, we need to get the Nile spell bomb off there. Or sorry, the gnaw to the bone off there. Oh my god. What have I done? We can still do something with this, but it's just a lot sadder now. We would have had a million life. Our graveyard would have still been gone, but we would have had a million life, which is nice. But let's keep it going. We've got a clock here. We've got a Lotleth Giant. Life's good. Life's good, honestly. I don't think they would, they might, I don't think they would have brought in, like, any wrath effects. Like, sometimes they run Breath Weapon, but I don't know. End the Festivities, not so good here. Faithless Looting, Flashback, no Madness, because they're tapped out, so that's nice. But they've got a lot of cards in hand, and we sort of running out of value here. We really need something to die. They find a Sneaky Snacker, so that's probably coming back soon. Bro, what is going on? Yeah, I mean, all of this would have been happening even if I got the gnaw to the bone off earlier. It's just that I would have a lot more life, and I would have been happier deep down inside. I don't know, I kind of want to just keep this Stinkweed Imp in hand as a backup in case they have a Breath Weapon. I really want something to die, though, is the thing. They're going to get back their Sneaky Snacker. They're gaining life. We have a fast clock. I think we'll still get off the gnaw to the bone soon here. I'd really like to find Dread Return or something. And we're drawing all lands. Deck, why must you punish us like this? Well, I really want a Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard. So if they want to attack, and if they play like a Kitchen Imps or something, they're going to have to go through some imps. This only represents 4 life, but if we can get an imp into the graveyard, it's a lot stronger. Of course, we can always cast it. Instant speed here. Highway Robbery. Discarding. Fiery Temper. come on, not like this. Fiery Temper. We'll cast it. We can always recast it from our graveyard. Guess we would have lost this the second Gnaw to the Bone activation. Do they have double Galvanic Blast? Because I'm going to be a little bit incensed if they do. Vampire's Kiss, keeping themselves healthy. So bad. Circle of the Land Druid is nice. Very nice draw. I really want to find a Dread Return. We don't. But we have a lot more life in our graveyard now. We can't land and Scrapwork Mutt and Gnaw to the Bone, so... Well, we can, but we just won't get the activation of Scrapwork Mutt. Well, they can block one creature, so they can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're short by 1 for lethal if we Scrapwork Mutt. Well, no, we'll have to tap a creature to Scrapwork Mutt, so that's not worth it. I guess we just attack and then see what they do. Either way, we're gaining some life off of the Gnaw to the Bone, which could put us out of reach. Our clock is becoming inevitable slowly. We want to leave back these blockers in case they have some kitchen imps. We would be a lot more healthy if I didn't screw up that Gnaw to the Bone earlier, but we also would have lost the Gnaw to the Bone. We would have had one less Stinkweed Imp out, so it wasn't a total loss. Very nice. That'll give us another creature in our graveyard for Gnaw, which we will just do that now so they can't instant speed burn us out later. And then I think we're just F6'd here. They can do with us what they will, but we're at 18 life. Feels good. 18 life and a board full of things that they can't comfortably kill. I guess the best thing they could find is a well-placed Nile Spellbomb. They can't attack very comfortably. We might start attacking with the whole gang here. I do wish I had kept one of the Stinkweed Imps in hand for the Scrapwork Mutt, but it's okay. We do have one, we have 2 more Gnaw to the Bones to find. Wow, they're gonna attack, so we can start dredging. That's pretty good for us, because as soon as we find a Dread Return, maybe they have Spell Bomb. As soon as we find a Dread Return, we're in good shape. We lost 2 Dread Returns, we should have 2 more. Opponent, Bojuka Bog. I need to start like a mini game for whenever we get Bojuka Bogged or something like that. Okay. Well, back to square one, but we will get to cast a troll. Things are working out okay, though. Things are working out okay. They gotta, I mean, what are they gonna do? They gotta double burn the troll and deal with the rest of our stuff. We've only got 17 cards left in our deck. Opponent finds a kitchen imp. We left a blocker back. Are there any more Lotleth Giants? We never got to blink. We did have one good blink game. Doesn't come up too often. Kitchen imp. Can they deal with the troll and keep attacking us? I've got nothing left to lose now, opponent. Faithless Looting. It's not a winning move. Well, they got a lot of mana, though. They could be... I'm just a little less scared of Faithless Looting versus more Grab the Prizes, for example. They've also turned off their Sneaky Snacker for the turn. Another Kitchen Imp. You got it, opponent. Do they leave back blockers? Faithless Looting. My lifespan is reducing little by little. Madness. Where are they going to throw that? At us? Okay. They're going after the troll. Which means they have a backup spell. Potentially. Okay. They're going for the troll, huh? And they are leaving back blockers. Interesting. Well, we have 2 Dread Returns, and I believe 2 Lotleth Giants still in the deck. Not to the bone. Come on. We could try to bait them. Attack with Scrapwork, Stinkweed Imp. And then we can reanimate Scrapwork, Dredge, find a Dread Return / Gnaw to the Bone. I think I like that. They've only got 1 card in hand, so I don't mind getting aggressive here. They have to block. They're going all out with their blocks. They lose their board. So... What are the odds they find another Nile Spellbomb? Because I could Scrapwork Mutt now. Find Dread Return or Lotleth Giant. I guess finding Dread Return doesn't win us the game. So we'll wait till next turn when we can cast it, or when we can attack with it. Oh my gosh. This guy. He has another one? Ay, ay, ay. Let's gain a bunch of life. I feel like he should hold the spell bomb and wait. I guess he wants to draw the cards. We have 1 troll left, I think. We have a lot of good draws. Well, I don't know. Grab the prize. Here comes Sneaky Snacker. Guys, what happened to this league? This is out of hand here. Mountain. Opponent's probably on the mill us out plan now. Do we have any Stinkweed Imps left? We have one. And we draw, of all the things we have left, we draw a forest. A forest. My God. Someone make it stop. The voices, the voices, the voices. I need to self-soothe with a fidget toy. What do you got? What do you got in your bag of pain for me, opponent? Because this video is dragging on too long, so we got to wrap it up, Louise. We both got to wrap it up. This is out of hand. Oh, yeah, 15 cards. We've got 2 Lotleth Giants, 2 Dread Returns, 1 Stinkweed Imp. We've got 2 Scrapwork Mutts. Opponent is zapping our creature. And then they're foretelling a highway robbery. Okay. Let's keep it going here. I was about to say they turned on my Circle of the Land Druid with the Dread Return. Is this a good move, or do I want to mill 4? I think so. Opponent has had 3 Nile Spell Bombs and a Bojuka Bog, or just 2 Nile Spell Bombs. We find our Scrapwork Mutts. So close. I guess we do attack. We find Ancient Grudge. Getting the weirdest draws. Opponent now has to have a blocker and a removal spell for our Druid plus Scrapwork Mutt. If we draw a Lotleth Giant, it's lethal. Opponent discarding a Sneaky Snacker. They're getting back 2 Sneaky Snackers. Okay, they're on the snacker plan. Oh, how the tides have turned. Sneaky Snacker's mad at me because I'm no longer playing mono red at the moment. Opponent is going crazy with 6 cards in hand. Of course, they've got a discard too, but could be some big... Oh, and they gain life. Oh no. I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. Ancient Grudge, completely worthless here. Opponent has a Vampire's Kiss. This is just something else, huh? This is just something else entirely. I knock Wayfarer. Yup, we'll cast it. We're running out of cards in our deck. We find the Lotleth Giant. 5 creature cards. Okay. I think we got there. Jeez Louise. Okay, we can tap. And let me think about this. Unearth. Oh my God. They can zap my creature. But we can get Stinkweed Imp back. Barely, with 0 cards in deck. 0 cards in library. 0 cards in hand. Dread Return Lotless Giant? 0-0. They're flabbergasted, and now they're just hoping for a misclick. Sure. Aw, not 0 cards in hand. Thanks, Circle of Land Druid. You ruined my achievement. Holy moly. Is there anything else that can go wrong here? 6 creature cards exactly. Okay, now that was epic. Wow. Well, thanks for sticking with me through that. That was a very harrowing league. That was very spicy, very harrowing. We did have... the mana base did work. We got screwed up a few times by, a bunch of holdout settlements in our starting hand, but it was working. Most of the time we could find all our colors. I think it makes the Scrapwork Mutts a little more awkward that we don't have the Ents to find the wooded foothills and the geothermal bog, but yeah, so little extra calculations there, but it worked. It worked pretty well as the regular Dredge deck. We're a little bit faster in theory. If you ever have a momentary blink in your hand, an early double Lotless Giant turn 4, you can easily win. Momentary blink, yeah, I like it. I heard some discussion around like going down a momentary blink and up a Malevolent Rumble to help smooth things out. I could see that because Malevolent Rumble was quite good. Yeah, definitely want to test this out some more because it's quite cool. Wish we got to see blink happen more often. I tested one game before starting and it was like the blink all-star game. I was like blinking wayfinders and then ended with a blink on the Lotless Giant, so it can do stuff, but we didn't get to see it in action other than a couple games. However, very cool. All right, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go lie down and enter a fugue state after that league, but I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for some more graveyard shenanigans or whatever else I decide to play. Ta-ta.